Praise the heavens. Lamar is back on the football field, and now the Baltimore Ravens are probably going to be winning that division. That's a controversial thing to say. I want to talk about the football divisions in the NFL right now. Which one we think is the most interesting and which one we think is the most boring, okay? And then another game, which starting quarterback would you choose for different situations? Like, which starting quarterback would you like to date your sister? And then I've got another last segment, cool or cringe, with a bunch of different stories and things from the football and sports world where you and I have to decide if it's cool or if it's cringe. We're just a family that loves games. We're like a family that plays board games, you know? Our brother Anthony would be so happy.
Yeah.
Our brother Anthony, obsessed with board games. He always wants us to play board games. We never really do it. Okay. All right. Let's start off here with the divisions, Mike. So like I said last night, Baltimore Ravens with Lamar back smacked the Miami Dolphins. I'm expecting Mike McDaniel to be fired any minute. I think any minute now he should be fired, relieved of his duties, and then go get an OC job somewhere. All right. Current standings. This is not including last night's game. So now the Ravens are 3-5 and the Dolphins are, where are the Dolphins? 2-7. Good for them. Fun.
That's great.
So I have a strong answer for what I think is the most interesting division in football. I want to get your thoughts. Which one of these divisions do you think is the most interesting and which is the least interesting? And if you want, I can go first while you think.
Okay. Let me clarify one question and then have you go first.
Okay.
Now, by interesting, you don't necessarily mean best, right? It's just interesting and entertaining, fun to watch. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. That's
as the English definition of the word interesting states, I mean the definition of interesting.
Okay.
What a question.
I would have never assumed that you went by Webster.
By Green.
Webster's definition?
I just roasted you for that question. Got him. Okay.
Right.
Yes, that's what I mean. Interesting, not best. Sorry, that was mean. That was actually, it's pretty mean. It's Halloween, you know, I'm feeling kind of crazy. All right. I'm going to go. There's a few different choices that I can go with here. You could always go with like the NFC West. You got the Rams, you've got the 49ers, you've got the Seahawks, but you do have one very boring team in there, which is the Cardinals. The other top three teams in that division are really interesting. Great coaches, Mike McDonald, the young up-and-comer defensive mind, and then, of course, Sean McVay, and then Kyle Shanahan. Great coaches there. But so I'm kind of tempted to say that. I'm going to go with the AFC North, okay? And this is bringing back the Thursday night football game last night. We've got the Steelers, the Bengals, the Ravens, and the Browns. And Mike, let me tell you.
That's so mid-tier interest level.
Oh, my gosh.
So much select.
Oh, my gosh. Okay,
truly, the most interesting team in the AFC North it's the Browns. And it's only because they're so bad. I disagree.
Okay, well, let me make my argument here, okay? First of all, you've got Aaron Rodgers on this strange career trajectory. He's in his first year with the Steelers, coming to the longest-standing tenured coach in the NFL, Mike Tomlin, who's been there for like 20 years and famously has never had a losing season. Some people think that's incredible. Some people think that's kind of meh, okay? Then you've got the Bengals, who they have Joe Burrow, who is one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL, but he keeps getting hurt. And so this team has such a disparity between how well they play when they have Joe Burrow and how well they play when they don't. Right now, they don't have them, but they do have two of the best wide receivers in the NFL. There's also all the storyline of how they're so cheap and they don't pay their players. That's interesting. Okay. It's not good. It's interesting. Baltimore Ravens, John Harbaugh. I think he's the second longest tenured coach in the NFL. And they, of course, have Lamar Jackson, who is one of the most, interesting quarterbacks or players in the NFL with his skill set. And they've been so bad. They're so bad without him. But then all of a sudden, when they get him back, they're a completely different team. They've also gone from having the best defense in the NFL to the worst. What would you say about that? That's kind of interesting, isn't it?
Is that over the course of one season? Best to worst over the course?
No, I think no, not really. It's not that fast. But they just sort of in general. And then you have the Browns. And tell me this is not interesting. I mean, it's depressing, but it's interesting. You have this franchise that just so famously fumbles the quarterback position over and over and over again. It's like it's almost fascinating to see how badly they handle the most important position in sports. And then they get a guy who's like actually viable, Joe Flacco. And then what do? They trade him in division to the Bengals. And then the Bengals go and beat division rival the Steelers. Their head coach, Mike Tomlin, is all upset that they even traded him there. There's just a bunch of different storylines kind of crisscrossing. And it's the other thing I think it's interesting. These 4 teams also match up to the identity and culture of their cities more than any other division in football. Okay. That's my case for why it's interesting.
Okay.
Great answer. Great response. Wow, interesting.
The response itself was interesting. Very well thought out, I will say. It seems like you really, you put together a nice essay there.
I practiced that in front of the mirror a lot today.
Okay, that's great. I really want to say the NFC West, but like you said, the Cardinals really throw it off. It's such an anvil to the interest level of that division. But I would instinctually Seahawks, Rams, 49ers. Yeah, I love that trifecta.
It's a great trifecta.
Okay. Here's
it's
what
not bad.
I'm going to say my instinct is NFC West.
Okay.
But in reality, I think, and hear me out, NFC East, and here's why.
Okay.
Eagles, top of the league. You got Jalen Hurts, who himself is a very interesting quarterback. Is he a good quarterback? He wins games. Is he good? I don't know. Who knows? He's got that interesting personality. Cowboys, Jerry Jones, most entertaining owner. Okay.
Sure. That's interesting.
No matter what, you tune into what's happening with the Cowboys. Best brand in the NFL. So that brings a lot of power to that division. Commanders, name change. Are they going back? I don't know. Are they?
True. That's something.
Giants are always fun to watch because they get these guys who give them little sparks. Remember Danny DeVito?
His
not Danny DeVito.
Danny DeVito,
the Italian stallion they had
with his agent. Yes,
that was interesting. With the agent, they're bad. They're bad, but they get these little sparks that give you just hope and make them fun to watch. And you're like, hey, maybe if they really put things together, they could be good. Yeah, never pans out, but they get these sparks like they have with Scatabo and Dart, even though Scatabo's out now. But that's why Giants are one of the more entertaining bad teams.
Yeah, that's true.
So
I think there's something to that. I don't hate that pick right there. Also, like some of those rivalries, Cowboys, Eagles, that's kind of fun to watch. And the fact
Sirianni,
Sirianni,
he's an interesting coach. He's kind of an anomaly leader.
Yeah, hard to figure out. All right. How about this? So you go NFC East and I'm going AFC North. That's good. We picked different conferences and different directionals. I do want to give it a honorable mention to the AFC West: Broncos, Chargers, Chiefs, and Raiders. So you got a lot of really good coaches there. Andy Reid, Jim Harbaugh, Sean Payton, and Pete Carroll, like 4 pretty profound coaches there. At the top of the division, they're very, very good. You've got a superstar quarterback with Mahomes and also Justin Herbert. Some people may say Bo Nix, is he gonna kind of take that next step? He's at least an interesting prospect. But I would say AFC West also sort of a division that I like to watch those games. Most boring division. I've got it. Okay. AFC South. Okay. Colts, Jaguars, Texans, and Titans. Now, take out the Colts this year because they're having a great year. But usually that division is so boring and so meh. What do you think?
Yeah, okay, I agree with that. Even with the Colts at 7-1, objectively, they're a great team. I'm still not that interested in them or watching them for some reason. It just feels soft. I don't know what it is.
The Colts fans are going to be mad at you.
It might be the logo. I think they have one of the worst logos in the NFL. That it's just I don't know what it is. That's my opinion. That's
sure.
So
you're sort of showing your coastal elitism there by hitting on a good old fashioned Midwestern team. That's what you're doing right there. Okay, AFC South. Yeah, I mean they do with Daniel Jones and then Jonathan Taylor, and it's like. They are doing something. Indiana itself, like Indiana, the state, because also Indiana University and Kurt Signetti. Like, who would have thought that the state of Indiana is becoming like a football powerhouse recently? Isn't that interesting?
Yeah, That is
All right.
actually pretty interesting. I
Okay,
think they
so let
probably
us.
Indiana might have some of the most well-behaved sports fans overall,
Oh,
like most
he's
respectful and best
so
sportsmanship.
classy. Yeah,
Maybe that's why it doesn't feel as interesting because nothing controversial is going to happen. There's no bad stories coming out of those
that's pretty
games.
good. All right, let's do this. Okay, so let us know which division of football you think is the most interesting. All right, Mike. Now we're gonna play a game called Cool or Cringe. Okay, I'm gonna pull up different things that have been going on here in the sports world. You're gonna tell me if you think it's cool or cringe. All right, let's start off with last night and Thursday night football. In Tua Tagovailoa doing his pregame speech. Now I want you to listen carefully to what he says because he says he messes up times. He says 4 quarters. We're going to do this for 4 hours or something like that. Here it is. Ready?
Uh-oh.
60 minutes tonight. 4 hours of pain. 4 hours of making that feeling. Hey.
Okay, so that's your quarterback's
Oh.
type of speech. 60 minutes, 4 hours, make them feel you. Cool or cringe, right?
Cool. I mean, of course, this is cringe, but more than anything, it is concerning. I hope I hope he can just claim he's dyslexic or something, and he can beat the concussions or concussion
Yeah,
symptoms are leaking in allegations that this is gonna raise. Obviously, that's hard.
that's tough. That's good. You added a third category, concerning. So cool, cringe, or concerning. All right, first one is cringe and concerning. I'm also going to
This
go
is
with
one
cringe.
thing I do want to say when you have coaches or players who are giving speeches like this and
Yeah,
they're kind of outside their element and you can kind of tell and feel it, you know,
right.
and they misspeak a little bit. It's so hard when you're in
Yeah,
the audience of that to not laugh or to say
yeah.
like it really kind of deflates your motivation to play the game.
Yes.
Ugh, what?
It
So
is such a sensitive thing, a hype up
yeah,
speech.
that's a
It
great
like,
word.
if you have one misspeak, one incorrect word choice,
Yeah,
you lose the audience, you lose your teammates, you lose the players if you're the coach. It's a very
completely.
delicate thing.
It's very
That's why
delicate. And it's
anytime I
like
was
when you
doing
have, so sorry, when you have quarterback battles,
yeah,
in camp,
yeah,
and they're, like, deciding between 2 quarterbacks, and they both are competing to try to be the vocal leader, and you can tell
yes.
it's not that natural and really forced. It's very deflating as
That is
a
such a
as a
yeah,
teammate.
such an interesting power dynamic when you have that's why quarterback battles, I think they're bad. Okay. You want to know who your quarterback is going into camp. I love position battles in other positions, but I want my quarterback and leader to be able to show his leadership throughout all of camp and not get in one of these weird things. All
Yeah,
right, next one.
authentically. Okay.
Good, next one. Cool or cringe? So obviously everything that's going on with LSU, firing Brian Kelly, the head coach. Now, LSU football is one of the most important institutions in that state. We have the governor of LSU who has been beefing with the athletic director, Scott Woodward, because of choices, who he's chosen to hire as basketball coach and football coach. This is the governor, the highest elected politician in the state of Louisiana, talking about if they're going to let Scott Woodward, the AD, athletic director of Louisiana State University, be involved in choosing the next head football coach.
No. I can tell you right now, Scott Woodward is not selecting the next coach. Hell, I'll let Donald Trump select it before I let him do it.
Oh,
I don't know, but the Board of Supervisors is going to come up with a committee and they're going to go find us a coach. Hold on. One real quick thing on that. Because here's what y'all reporters need to do. Y'all need to start looking at who represents all these people. Like these agents. You know what's interesting? If I'm not mistaken, Woodward's agent, Kelly's agent, the Texas A&M, they're all the same agent. Like you realize if I would be, I don't know how many sports writers we got here today? Just you. We should have a bunch. Okay? Like this is ridiculous. Like it's really time for the NCAA to put on some guardrails in college sports. Because and it's fine. We don't need the guardrails. If big billionaires want to spend all that kind of money, no problem. But if I got to go find $53 million from Kevin, it's not going to be a pleasant conversation.
There it is. Governor of Louisiana. Cool or cringe? Instant reaction.
Really cool. I think this is cool. Number one, what an incredible voice and accent.
Yeah.
Incredible accent. That southern draw. I felt like I'm watching a movie and he's performing in a courtroom.
Beautiful.
Your Honor, I do declare. That's what he sounds like. But,
It is. And breaking news, Scott Woodward, the athletic director of LSU, is gone. They have departed. He has departed. I don't know. The LSU, I just pulled up this article while I was going. LSU says that Governor Landry was not involved in the firing of the AD, but yeah, right. Look at how fired up he was right here. Of course he was involved. Crazy thing is with these big, like these are state colleges.
yeah.
State money, a lot of tax money. Now, there's kind of a misunderstanding. A lot of people are saying like, oh, the taxpayer has to pay Brian Kelly's huge buyout. A lot of that time, those are funded by private money, so that's not actually true. But
Okay.
these institutions are so important for the state, and it's just crazy to see this. So you're on board. You're on board with the governor being this involved.
I don't really know how good it is logistically, but as just a human being watching this, I think it's cool to see how much of how invested he is in sports and knows how important sports, especially football, is. Yeah.
So cool.
Yeah, it's good. I think it's cool.
Okay. Cool.
I had something else, but I lost it.
Oh, it's gone. Okay. All right. So we're going cool. All right. Next thing. Cool or cringe? Bengals season ticket holders have been reporting trying to cancel their season tickets, and the season ticket office has been guilting them into not canceling. And they say, what would you rather have? Cheap season tickets or us to pay Jamar Chase and T. Higgins? So the organization essentially guilt tripping their fans into paying for these players. This just falls in line with the Bengals being notoriously cheap. But what do you think? Is this cool or is this cringe of the organization? Be like, well, what do you want? Good players or cheap tickets?
So cringe. This is horrible. Why are they so cheap? The Bengals. This is how Jackie Moon was running his team in semi-pro.
Yes, this is
Guilting
exactly
your
it.
fans. I just what's the meeting with the people running the ticket management saying, hey, just try to make sure they understand how important this is. It's horrible.
Okay, we'll go cringe there. I also go cringe. All right, next one. Doing rapid fire here. Cool or cringe? Coastal Carolina having a medieval sword fight halftime show. You have knights dressed in armor, the mascot, sword fight. Well, that's kind of sick. The sword sparked.
Wow. This is awesome.
Okay, so you're going cool.
Okay. This is cool. I really love that. I love anything that draws the parallels to gladiator times with football.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I'm also with you. I think that's very cool. Coastal Carolina also is like a really interesting. You know who played at Coastal Carolina? Alex Spillum. Remember?
Yeah.
Spillum.
See, guy's a stud.
He's awesome. He was our teammate out in Germany. Baller, safety, really cool guy. He's got like this surfer vibe. You never would have guessed that he's from Minnesota. You think he's
I
like,
always
he's
forget
like
that.
such
Complete chill surfer vibe. It's a good personality for a safety.
It really is. Okay, here's another one. Cool or cringe is going back to Thursday night football, and that is LASIK. They do this all the time. Always tweeting.
Oh, yeah.
Still offering NFL refs free LASIK surgery because there was this tripping call last night in Thursday night football, which was pretty egregious. Like the rookie running back got like tripped himself, fell down, and then he got called for a trip. It took back a touchdown, and he was really upset. But LASIK taking advantage of this. Is this cool or is this cringe?
I think it's cool, but you got to be careful if you're a LASIK, social media team to not abuse this joke to where people get sick of it and it becomes cringe. Right now, It's cool.
Yeah, I mean, it's a fine line because, always you see people, you see that guy who like says something by chance that's funny and then he notices people laugh at it. And he's like, oh, I'll do it again. I'll do that again.
Perfect. Yes,
Yeah,
exactly.
Like, so far, they're pretty good with it, but they're towing a fine line. Just like a pregame speech, it is sensitive. All right, here we go, Mike. I'm curious about your thoughts on this one. the Colts' new owner, CEO, the daughter of Jim Irsay, Carly Irsay Gordon, being on the headset and being on the sideline and listening in to the coaches talking to each other on the sideline. Okay. Cool. Have you seen
who
this?
is she? Who is she? She's
She's
the
the
owner?
new owner. So Jim Irsay, who was the owner and CEO
Okay.
of the Colts, he died. She is now the owner CEO. It's his daughter. And she is on the headset. She is listening in and she's like taking notes. And I should have, there's a few other kind of sound bites when reporters asked her why she's doing it. And I actually think, I know you want to say this is cringe. I know you want to
Okay.
okay. I think it's actually cool. But I have to pull up the sound bites that she said when she spoke
Okay.
to her. Said, okay,
Let
look,
me
think
give it-
about it. Well,
Okay.
hold on. No, think about it like this. She is a business owner. She inherited this huge multi-billion-dollar business. She's paying people tens of millions of dollars a year. And she says, I want to be able to kind of understand the business better, understand who is actually doing a good job at their job. So she said, for example, she wants to know if a wide receiver and a quarterback have a miscommunication on a route and the wide receiver actually ran the correct route and the quarterback messed up. She wants to be able to know who actually is doing their
at
job,
fault?
who's
Okay.
actually at fault, or if it was a bad play call, or if the player didn't run the play. So she just wants to be more informed. And I actually think it's pretty cool. And also they're 7-1. So it's working.
Okay. Wait, she's been doing this all season?
Yes, she has.
Okay, that's awesome. I thought this was just like she just inherited the team and just started doing this as their, 6-1, and she just started like, you know what, I'm gonna go down there.
Yeah.
That's really cool. I think that's awesome. And it's also the antithesis of what seems to be the Jets owner's approach, where he's in his ivory tower and gets a stat sheet of people and throws people away. Fire him. Who's next?
Perfect
I love her approach.
comparison.
Yeah.
Carly Irsay Gordon is the opposite of Woody Johnson, the Jets owner, who is completely uninvolved and doesn't understand.
Yeah.
And go, our quarterback's not throwing good passes. We suck.
Yeah.
That guy does not care. Okay, so we'll go cool with that. All right. One last one here. This is funny. Okay, because this is the most Iowa thing ever. Okay, it is. They got their sprinter at their halftime show coming out and running a 4.15 40-yard dash at halftime. And I think this is funny. This guy quote tweeting goes, this is the most Iowa halftime show ever. Is here's a white guy that can just run really fast. Check it out. So, I mean, cool. We don't have so many. So when we got them, show it off. 4.1? You kidding me?
Yeah, that's cool. I have a double-edged answer here. Initially, this is cool. I think at halftime, displaying how all around athletic your school is and brand is as a program, I think that's cool. Playing, when you have like our volleyball team, one state, and having them recognized at halftime, it just brings up the value of the team overall. What I will say is, I don't think that's a good time to have a sprinter come out and run a 40 because it kind of devalues what you're seeing on the field. This guy's running a 4.1. Now everybody I'm watching after this seems slow because these guys are running 4.4. So that's the only thing.
Interesting. That's interesting. Actually, that's really good because then after you watch that, and then the second half starts, you're like, this guy's
now
running
you're just thinking about, dang, this guy should be running receiver. He would have been open.
What is also with Iowa and producing like these super fast white guys? Also like Cooper DeJean last year. It's like they're something. It's something.
Yeah.
Shane Gillis would love that. Maybe it's the corn. I don't. You know who's from Iowa? Rudy. We should ask him.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
He's
All
so
right,
fast.
Mike, let's wrap this up with. He's also so fast. Okay. With another game. All right. And we're going to do it's starting NFL quarterbacks, and we're going to put them in different scenarios, different situations of who you would choose. Starting off, we did this with coaches, and we have some of the same category, a little bit of crossover, but also some new ones. We're going to start off here. Which NFL quarterback would you most like to date your sister? Okay. This is hypothetical because our sister we share is married. Awesome guy, Ryan. Shout out, Ryan. This is a hypothetical. Okay. This is a hypothetical.
Okay.
Who would you choose? Okay.
Okay. Give me a second here.
All
There's
right.
you know what?
Yeah.
I have a great answer.
Okay.
And I have it, but I just want to really quick confirm and double check that this is
Okay.
the correct answer.
Okay. Yeah, there's a couple on here. Yep.
Okay.
Oh, I've got one. Okay, I've got one.
No. I have the correct answer.
Okay.
There is one correct answer. And the
Okay.
answer is Brock Purdy.
Yep. Yes,
answer.
that's exactly.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Completely.
I
Yeah.
was gonna go
System
Brock as well.
guy, low ego, always pass the credit, humble, has the hat on, not doing these fashion shows. Look at me.
Yes, he'd be great at a
Chip on his
family.
shoulder. I love him. Yeah.
He'd be great at like a family barbecue. Like imagine him in our backyard, playing cornhole or something. Okay, so
Exactly.
Brock Purdy, that's great. Again, this is hypothetical. Our sister's
Yeah.
married. Ryan, I'll take Ryan over Brock Purdy.
Yeah. You got there.
Okay?
Can Brock Purdy fly a Black Hawk helicopter?
Don't think so, Brock. All right, next one. This is a fun game, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, next one. Which quarterback would you which NFL quarterback would you have help you with your homework? Now imagine you guys were like college teammates or something, okay? And you need help with your homework. Who would you go to help you with your homework?
Okay.
All right, I'm looking at
I was
here.
usually the guy that did all the cool guys' homework. So no, I'm just kidding. Let me think. Who would help me with my homework? Baker's never been to class.
Never.
Okay. I kind of want to. Brock is jumping out at me again. He's just well-rounded. Stand by.
Oh, you know what we're missing? We're missing a couple good ones here. You know who I'm going to go with actually? Daniel Jones. He went to Duke. Smart guy.
That's good.
Daniel Jones, Indiana Jones. Yeah, because we're missing some of these. You might want to pull up your own like current starting NFL quarterbacks.
Yeah, but here's my answer. That's good. Daniel Jones is good. Kirk Cousins.
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
Super nerdy. Loves it. Wears a polo shirt at home. Have you seen the documentary Quarterback?
Yes.
He's at home with his kids wearing a polo shirt in his own house. It's tucked into khakis. That guy's going to help you with your homework.
He's got accountant vibes. All right, so we'll go that. We'll go Daniel Jones and Kirk Cousins. Shout out. Okay. Which quarterback would you pick to plan? I can't even talk. Which quarterback would you pick to plan your bachelor party? Now, keep in mind what type of bachelor party that you personally would like. Like, I know what I want, and what I had was it was pretty calm. It was chill. We went to a mountain cabin at Mount Hood. So keep that in mind when you're deciding. You don't necessarily just want the party guy. Okay?
Yeah, completely. I'm not a party guy, so that eradicates, a lot of these guys. I think Baker would be a cool guy. I think that if he threw me the party, would be just a little bit too much. A little too much.
Baker planned.
You know what?
I got one.
Do you have yours? Say yours. And then I'll go.
Mine is Dak Prescott. Okay. Dak, he's cool. He's very, very cool, but he's also clearly mature. And he's going to understand, like, yeah, man, maybe you want to have a little bit of fun here, but it's mostly going to be relaxing. He's not going to be the type of guy that's going to be like, dude, come on, it's your bachelor party. We got to go.
Yeah.
Like, he's going to be like, okay, so you want it like this? You want to chill? You want to watch a movie? No problem, man. Great guy. He's got the right energy, and I think he'll do a good job of planning the logistics and everything. And he's got the good energy. Dak Prescott, you are invited to plan my hypothetical bachelor party. Who do you got?
That's a great answer. I got part of me wants to say Aaron Rodgers because I think he'll organize some sort of ayahuasca spiritual retreat. And I think it's kind of like, if there's one time in your life where you're going to try ayahuasca and go on a spiritual journey, it's right before you get married, before you enter this, lifelong covenant. And I think he'd be a great shaman to guide you on that journey.
Okay,
So
Aaron Rodgers.
very unique answer.
Not bad. Not bad at all. Okay. Next one, we've got, which quarterback would you pick to defend you in a fist fight? Who's going to have your back? We kind of did this one. We did this one with the coaches, and it was Nick Sirianni.
Yeah.
Now, do you go size or do you go scrappiness?
Is this blindly have your back, or do you have to be in the right?
No, we'll go blindly.
Okay. I think Kyler Murray's out. Obviously, I think he's running. I just can't see him showing loyalty beyond something self-serving for some reason.
Sure.
Dak Prescott, good build.
You
Seems
got to
like a
think about
great
the Bills.
friend. Okay, you know what? Jalen Hurts, super loyal. Seems like he's
Oh,
he's
that's a good one.
till death do us part type of friend. And
Yeah.
he's just they mess with my
Dang it.
boy. Okay, and then he's good. He's in.
I like that. Jalen Hurts is a good one. I am going to go, I think, just for, well, size and where he went to college, Wyoming. I'm going to go Josh Allen. Big boy, went to Wyoming, probably got into a couple altercations out there with some cowboys in the Wyoming bars. I'm going to go Josh Allen.
That's good.
Mostly because of the size. Okay.
Yeah,
Mostly
that's a good pick.
All right. Which NFL quarterback would you choose to negotiate your salary for you?
Deshaun
there's actually-
Watson, so he can give me his agent's number.
That's actually a good answer.
Yeah.
That's actually a really good answer.
That's my tentative answer. Well, who would
Okay.
you have?
Deshaun, I'm going to go with Lamar Jackson because I think he actually did negotiate his own salary, or him and his mom like did it together.
Oh, that's
So
right.
I'm going to go
That's right.
Deshaun Watson. Isn't pretty good? Oh, you know what?
Yeah.
I was just thinking.
Oh,
What?
Kirk Cousins.
Yeah. You already picked him to help with your homework.
Oh yeah. Shoot. Okay.
was gonna-
what were you
I
gonna
was gonna-
say?
I was going to go back to the fight one because I'm looking. Don't you feel like Jackson Dart would have your back in a fight pretty well? And he's like
Oh,
pretty
yeah.
big. He's pretty like scrappy. You know, he'd
Yeah.
also be a good one for the fight. All right, let's see. What other question do I have on there? Which quarterback would you want to be on your trivia team at pub quiz trivia night? Who do you think's got a lot of
Kirk
fun? with
Cousins.
that? I don't know,
Cousins.
Mike. I don't know because I think that his knowledge is going to be isolated to like book smart stuff. You gotta
Yeah.
expand out. I think that
I just
there's-
really see him being as a guy like in the locker room as you're going out to practice. Hey, fun fact for you, and say
True.
something like that. Just have this wealth of worthless knowledge that he wants to share.
That's so true. Yeah, because this
so,
one,
yeah.
that's a great. Actually, that Kirk is a great one. You know who? I'm looking at the list here. You know who I think I'm going to pick? Joe Flacco. All right, he's 41 years, a lot of life experience. He has 5 kids, so he's probably like his life is pretty complete. Like he's have to dip his toes into a lot of different aspects of life. Like if a trivia question came up, like what was the name of the character in Frozen 2? Well, he probably watched that with his daughters, and then he's been around for a long time, so he has a big range of knowledge that I think would be very valuable at a pub trivia night. So I'm gonna go Joe Flacco. What do you think of that?
I think that's great. And his knowledge is all firsthand because he's experienced everything. He's gone with his daughters or his sons for all these places. Whereas Kirk's knowledge is, I read it somewhere. What did I read?
Yeah.
Joe's knowledge
Joe
is right there.
Flacco's like Slumdog Millionaire. You know, he's been all over the league, and he's got this. He's had one experience for every question. All right, final question. Where did it go? Which quarterback would you pick to be your emergency contact? So somebody that you think is really, really responsible,
Okay.
able to take care of certain situations.
Okay. I think this kind of goes hand in hand, but I had also a question. Which quarterback, this kind of falls in the same category, would you want to help bail you out of a third world prison?
Oh yeah, this is good. Like basically somebody who's responsible and has high agency. Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
let's do that one then. Let's do that one. Which quarterback would you call to help you get out of a third world prison?
Okay.
All right. High agency guy. Okay. I got one.
Yeah.
And it's going to be Pat Mahomes. I think he has the most star power. I think he can pull the most strings. Politically, I think he can pull strings because he's so beloved globally. So if I'm, in a Venezuelan jail, I think Pat Mahomes, he's got the connection with Travis and Taylor Swift. That's going to help me out.
Yeah,
I'm going to need
that's
some
true.
political weight thrown around. Give me Pat Mahomes. He would get me out of a third world prison. Thank you, Patrick.
Dang, I think that's the correct answer. I think that's the my only other option I would say is Baker, because he's got a similar, he's got a tier below level of star power.
Yep.
But he has this chip on his shoulder where he'll find a way. He'll read the law books. He'll find a way.
True.
He'll get it done.
Well, Pat Mahomes will make some calls and get it. Baker would fly to Venezuela
and
like,
knock out the guard and hand you the key. That's the difference.
Two different styles of getting you out of a third world prison. Okay, that is such a fun game. I love.
Yeah,
playing that
I
game.
like that a lot.
Do you have any other questions or on that we can do? That's all I have.
I think that's good.
Think that's good.
I think that's good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Last one. No, I'm not gonna do it. I was gonna do the inverse. Like, which would you least want to choose? But then we're just being
Yeah.
mean. Then we're just being
Yeah,
mean.
just being mean.
We don't want to be mean to these guys. All right.
Tua, you're gonna have Tua try to figure out the logistics of
I'm gonna have
legal
Tua,
system of Venezuela.
defend me in a fight. Tua, you can't take a punch. Okay. All right, there it is. Fun game. We're gonna probably keep playing that. Some more versions of that next week. A lot of ball this weekend. Enjoy it, everybody, and we will see you on the next one. Goodbye.